All right,
Oh,
here we are. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, hell yeah. Hey, everybody, this is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek D'Altolevy, HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world.
In the world, bro, let them know. And we have a very special guest for you today. We have...
Denise. Hi, you guys. My name is Denise Carballo. Proud to say I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I am a Latina, and I'm a single mom of a beautiful daughter.
There you go.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That
Born
was
and
a
raised,
great
Houston,
little
Texas.
introduction of yourself.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, happy to have you here. I mean, it just started drizzling when you got out here. Glad you got here before the rain. Could have been bad.
I know.
But yeah, okay, so you said your name is Denise from Houston, huh? I know Derek was talking a little bit about you had a business a little bit that you do with candy. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So I do have a little business. It's like a little side hustle that it all started in while COVID, 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years
About
ago.
2 years ago.
So I was bored. It all started as like game, because people just started selling stuff in the streets. Everybody was like
Trying to collect cash.
yeah, trying to collect cash, and I'm like, candy, and then there's other candies, as like how I do mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't gonna buy no, candy for like $8. Let me
When
make
you can
my
make it
own.
yourself.
So I started YouTubing, and then I'm like, like mixing stuff, buying stuff, and it all came like on Snapchat, and I will post like, who will be down to buy my candy, and people are like, I will be. So like I'm like, So it started basically as like a game,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
It's funny.
Like you weren't taking it serious
I
at
was not
first.
taking it serious.
Well, it's funny. I've heard there's other people that we've had on the show that have talked about that same thing, that they just started making cakes and cookies for this party, and then someone was like, hey, can you do it for our party? Can you do it for ours? Yeah. Sure enough, kept doing it over and over, and now Case Bakes is a successful business down in Clear Lake, and has been for many years. So, it's,
A lot of people started the same way.
yeah.
Like, especially like during COVID, like that's it. Some I've said many times, like if COVID didn't bring out the hustler in you, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of your candy business?
Mas Chile.
Mas Chile. Why is it Mas Chile? By what?
By Zuli. So
Okay.
everybody thinks I'm Zuli, but that's my daughter's name.
Yeah.
So it's like Mas Chile means more Chile. I don't know how to say it in
Yeah,
Spanish.
it does.
Yeah.
More Chile.
But by Zuli, it's my daughter, so I put it because of her.
Now,
That's dope.
was Zuli the original requester of
Yeah.
Mas Chile on the candy?
Damn.
Was she just like, Mas Chile?
Yeah, and I usually do it like I do it spicy, but not as spicy enough so the kids could have it too. So
Yeah.
Okay, so there's levels to it. So do you, on Mas Chile, do you have like intermediate spice, expert level spice, pure on Colombian spice? You know what I mean?
no, it's just like a regular spicy and sweet, like
Yeah.
Okay.
So what kind of candies? Tell us a little bit about the candies. Like,
Do y'all want to try it?
yeah, we want to try
Pull
it.
it out.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
She brought some samples, everybody. She brought some
her
samples.
homegirl's here to support her. She's gonna pull out some of the samples and whatnot.
All right.
Oh man.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Come on over here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Come
that
on here.
candy looks
We
good.
got a model.
Oh my, yeah, show it off, show it. Hey.
Dope.
All right,
Right
look at all
there.
this. Look at all this.
Oh man.
This is Mas
Let's,
Chile.
actually, even better. I'm gonna show
What-
them. Some too. It's this one, huh? So these are what?
So those are the peach rings.
Peach
I
is my
have
favorite.
gummy bears and then the popular gushers.
Wow. Now, what do you think about him? Do you like him too? She's out of here. She's gone. Thank you for your help. Thank you. Oh, man.
So
These
you do
look-
like chamoy, chile. What is this? Chamoy on it?
Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to dig into one just so I can get
Try it. Are we gonna
first-
mukbang? No, mukbang is like where you eat on camera. It's not nothing crazy.
Gummy bears. Sweet and spicy. Oh, my.
The most.
Oh
There's
wow.
some pink.
That's dang.
Pink rings too. What a
Yeah.
nice choice.
Hey, these are fire, bro.
Man.
My favorite beer is Dos Equis.
Oh my god.
My favorite way to have Dos Equis. Try the gushers.
So I do the drip for the beer. I
Oh
also do that
yeah. Or just tahini even, but you do like the chamoy drip and tahini. Fire.
This
Wow,
is a
bro.
flavor delight. It really is. Wow. So, have you made these before in the past, or were you just like You said you just started YouTubing, learning how to do it because you saw it at the store.
I saw it
You're
and
like, this
then
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not paying this.
Not paying this. I started off, I'm like, let me try it out myself. And eventually, I started going to like little spots. So there's this guy that I also want to give a shout out to, El de la Barbacoa. He literally was like, come to my spot. I sell barbacoa with chips.
Just let it hang, bro. It's fine.
You got it, dude. Just go. Just keep going.
Let it roll.
I went over there. He's like, I want to try your candy. So I'm like, okay, dope. So I went. And he was like, why don't you come, post up with me and like, see how it goes. So that's how I began, to post up at 10s and then we'll go live. And then that's how I started. So,
Mas Chile.
Mas Chile.
This is super bomb.
So he's kind of like a mentor almost. He'll do kind of like show you the ropes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I was with him like for like a year and a half. And then from there, I went to work somewhere else. And I only do it by orders now. So.
Yeah. Nice. You get a lot of orders come through like social media. Yeah.
So I do have a page. So Mas_Chile_, and people order from there, and then I do the deliveries.
I don't know the measuring units, but how much for
a single gusher?
how much for a gallon of gushers? I don't know the measuring units. How much do you want for the gusher? Yeah, no doubt. You're hot.
How much does like one of these cost?
I do like a 8 ounce $10, and then that's a 16 ounce 20. So that's a jar. But these are the 8 ounce.
Yeah.
So those are like 8 about.
That's dope. I see a lot online too. You like you were talking about, you promote a lot of events with it and stuff too, right?
I do.
That's a good way to get it out there, being like a vendor. Yeah. What kind of events? Name some of the events you went to recently to kind of.
Recently, I went to Tacos Ca, so it's on the north side. We stay on the north side, and pretty popular tacos, birria tacos, and then La Barbacoa is right next door to him. So those are pretty much the people I usually,
So it's other people who are already doing business for themselves who are like, hey, you're doing business also.
Right.
Come with. Let's go. This is how you do it.
Right.
So like whenever this mentorship was happening, so he was like giving you like instruction on how like would it be like the sugar industry, the candy industry, like
Yeah, because at first I was shy and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do under a tent, And then people criticize me a lot because they're like, what the F she's doing there? They didn't think I actually made the candy. They thought I was like a promoter.
Buying it and then pushing it.
Or like, what is this girl doing here? So I had like a lot of criticism being
Good.
under there, and it's just like, it goes from one ear, it comes out the other. So
Yes.
because it's all about the
That's
hustle,
how
and
it
I don't, care what people say, and I'm like, that's my money right there. At the end of the day, it's like,
And also, it just keeps their name in your mouth.
Right.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to talk crap and drag my name through the dirt, just keep talking.
Yeah, they're actually your promoters now at that point.
Right.
They're promoting you. You know what I'm saying? That girl in Mas Chile. Yeah, Mas Chile, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
dope.
okay, so is that that kind of goes into the next one that I'm talking about. You had a lot of criticism, you said, but what about some of the other maybe struggles that did you face going through this? You said you've been in business for about a year and a half.
I've been through a lot of struggles with it.
Well, we only got an hour.
Just basically on and off with the candy, I guess my main focus was, not having a job during COVID and living with my parents because, I used to live by myself since I was 18. I had a daughter when I was like 24. She's 5 years old now. And it's like, I got to do something, like while COVID, I cannot just, depend on my parents. I'm like, almost 30 now. And
you still young, girl. You still young.
So I'm like, I gotta do some hustling, help them out. So, I came out with this, and then, I got a job, so I let it,
Do your parents approve of the candy?
Oh, yeah.
Are they fans?
Yeah.
Are they trying to get you to make it for free for them?
Yeah, when I used to live with them, every time I'll make them, and they're like, oh my God, just stop. I'm like, y'all gotta taste them before, they go out. So they were like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd still be like, hey, look here, Ma, I'm trying to make sure that Mama's good over here. $20 for the 10. All right.
Charge your parents.
Look, just because you're Mama, 15. Cent, give it.
She gets family discount.
Oh yeah, she helped a lot too. So I put her unwrapping the.
Well, and
gushers
she's
stuff.
supporting you right now, which is important.
Right.
And in the sense of you can make this happen because those are bomb. You know, like I said, maybe you can put a gallon for your measuring increments in the future.
Yeah.
So how is it like trying to do your own business and while being a single mother? Talk
Good
a little
question.
bit about that.
So it did got me out through the struggle, and like I said, I found a job and I was working, and then this was my side hustle.
Yeah.
So eventually I got the money, and then I'm like, okay, time to move on out my parents, and I got my own place now with my child, which like thanks to God, it happened.
Yeah.
And I do that side hustle
You're good.
because people ask me if I do a CBD kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah, there's people that sell it like this. I'm like, no, just maybe in the future. But anyways,
So these are just 3 of them. You brought the Gushers,
3.
the gummy bears, and the peach rings. What variety do you have? Like, do you
it's a
have?
lot.
Is there a limit to what kind of you
Like
can
people
to
get
what you
custom
can do to
ones
this
and stuff?
candy? Is there like a fruit you can't do, or can you do like all of it, or like
not
the
all of
candy?
it. So it's like limited.
Yeah.
Like Sour Patches, Skittles, mangoes, stuff like that. Not like you're not just gonna put tahini on just any type of candy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Well,
tahini and mango is probably one of the dankest things I've ever had.
and Skittles already kind of put their own little flavor on it with the sour Skittles. So they're like, hey, look, no, can't do it with this. Yeah. So I mean, what sort of things do you have that, I know you were saying that you're a mother, and also with this candy. I remember you before the show we were talking about you had a surgery at some point.
Well, before even we hop on that, I think let's kind of preface it too a little. I think too, like, and this is kind of goes hand in hand with the candy. So you're big into fitness, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then kind of why don't you tell us a little bit about your fitness journey and everything?
My weight loss journey.
Weight loss
I
journey.
did have like.
Well, I haven't had mine yet, so I don't know exactly how it goes down.
So besides that, a lot of people ask me about my weight loss journey. 3 years ago, I did not look the way I look today. I was at 240 pounds, and it took me a long way to get to where I'm at right now. So it took me mentally. I went through it emotionally as well. Physically, going to the gym to get to 200 pounds in order to get my first surgery.
Yeah.
So like 3 years ago, girls did not talk about them getting surgeries and stuff like that, and you'll ask them, hey, where did you get your surgery, and they'll be like, oh yeah, girl, my butt is real, or stuff like that. I'm
They
like,
bullshit.
Okay, let me do my research. So I met this Colombian lady at where I do my hair, and she was like, I could help you with that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm at 240 pounds. I had, recently a daughter, and it's hard. It's hard because you go through a process that you see other, now it's all about, technology, IG, you see models, and you're like, damn, I want to look like that. Like, how did they get like that, And I know it ain't just about the gym.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what sort of outside, like, disciplines did you have to develop? Because I mean, like in the gym, like even though I went today, it's like you don't see results in a day. It has to be about consistent discipline.
It's not just going and getting a surgery. It's maintaining the surgery.
So let's kind of unpackage that a little bit. You said you were just had a child and everything. You said you were about 240 pounds, right? And then you started to do some research and stuff to check out surgery, but you said you wanted to hit the gym first, right?
Right.
So yeah, talk a little bit about
That's
that.
because the doctor, they're very, they take care of you over there in Colombia.
Yeah.
I don't know about here, but all my surgeries straight from Medellin.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm like, I want to get surgery. I sent him my pictures, and he was like, oh no, you gotta go down 200 pounds. So there I go, like.
So you had to lose 40 pounds
40
before.
pounds before surgery.
See, and that's so important because, like, I don't think it's just about you needed to be in better shape for the surgery to handle it, for your body to handle it and stuff. But also, I think it's important because it shows you're dedicated mentally. Like you can discipline yourself and take the necessary steps that it's going to take to maintain after the surgery.
Right.
So what were you gonna say? Go for it.
Well, no, I was just I've heard of people having these weight loss surgeries. Like, for instance, people in my family have done it, and they've seen success with it.
Yeah.
I love you, Mom. But my mother and my stepfather were one of them, and they had to adopt different disciplines in their life, different habits. Whereas even portion control, as far as for them, I think they had like a band put in there, something like that just closed their stomach up. So,
the gastro sleeve.
It could have been. I mean, I didn't get too far into it. I was just like, damn, like, whoa.
With even that though, bro, I'll tell you too, and like this is, credit to you. I mean, like I know I have a homie, like an associate that he got like gastric bypass surgery or something like that, where he lost a lot of weight, got his skin all tightened and stuff, and he was good for like a year or so, and then boom, ballooned right back up, got big again, like that.
So that's awesome that you bring that up. Are there things that the doctor told you that also, like, hey, these are things that you have to put in place?
Right.
Because, what sort of
my first surgery happened in 2018, and I was going for a tummy tuck and a lipo. So when I woke up, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling myself. Like, I noticed that I did not get the lipo. I noticed that he cut down my stomach, but I didn't get like the lipo. So I'm like, what's going on? At that point, I was, with all this anesthesia. Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on? I started crying, like, no. I was going crazy. So he put me in the room, and he's like, I'll explain later why. So he put me in the room, and he's like, either you want half of your money back, or you're going to come back and get the lipo. I couldn't do much because it was a lot,
it was a lot of stress on your body.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
And it's a lot of what he cut down was like a lot. Yeah. A lot of my stomach.
Well, maybe your body just couldn't handle it right then and there at that time.
So and there's doctors. Oh yeah, there's doctors over there, and clinics that they'll do
that shit, whatever.
But then
they want the money.
You're dead.
Yeah, that's dope. So how did you go about finding the right doctor that you were confident in and that you could trust, and that you took the faith with to actually trust enough to
you do your research, and nowadays it's all about IG, how many followers they have, and I went from there, and then searching what kind of hospital he was at. So it's at El Poblado, so pretty much like bougie. Like, to be honest, I felt like if I was here in downtown. So I didn't feel like I was like strange at a strange hospital or nothing. So a friend of mine, which she does my massages now, she's the one that referred me over there. She took good care of me over there, and I got prepared. I went there the first time, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm coming back 6 months later. I'm like, I'm getting my lipo, and then the lady was like, you should get your boobs done now. And I'm like, no, like, what you mean? And they're like, he's like, yeah, you're already like there, you already got the tummy tuck. See, that's the hardest part. The tummy tuck, when they cut down your stomach, it's a hard recovery, like a month. She's like, you're already there, you went through the hard part. So I'm like, oh, okay, how much is it? And it's very cheap over there. So I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Might as well.
I woke up, and I'm like, a whole new me. And then from there, I just dedicated myself to lose weight, because the doctor was like,
Beautiful.
Lipos are not to lose weight. Lipo is to mold your body, but not necessarily to lose the weight. So you have to put the work.
Yeah. Like, you can't get it and then go off and have a pizza and a bag of Cheetos and drink a bunch of Coca-Colas, because it's not going to stay off. I mean, even if it reduces, it can also grow back even larger, if it's not maintained.
Let's talk a little bit about the recovery. You said it was about a month too. Like, tell us about that. What exactly? Just so if anybody else is considering this, they can kind of know what to expect.
Oh, yeah. I just had a male guy went over there. He recently came back. He's like, you didn't tell me. Like, I had to go through all this. I'm like, you already did it, right? So he's very happy. So basically, they cut down your stomach. So you have, they take a lot of, it depends how much stomach you have. And I recovered fast. To be honest, I recovered fast at the 4th day. I was walking. And
do you think being dedicated to fitness has helped with your recovery?
Yes, fitness and diet. Yeah. I don't do diet now, but back then I used to, focus on meal prepping and stuff like that. Eating more healthy, and once you get surgery, like your stomach goes smaller, so it doesn't fit as much. So there was a point where I gained weight, so I didn't take care of myself, and that's because I went to in a relationship. The guy was like, I don't want you going to the gym, and then and it's like,
That is not
he
a
starts
healthy
seeing you
relationship.
like, this girl's looking good, so like, now
Who you looking good for?
who you looking good
for?
Who you going to see at the
Cut
gym?
it out.
That's straight
I know.
insecurity, bro.
so
Like
I
that is not the type of man you want to be with.
So I started gaining weight. I started gaining my weight back, feeling depressed, and until like I left, I'm like, I'm done. And then it's hard to be in a relationship, and it's hard to stay dedicated at other stuff, like focus. So from there, I'm like, what? I need to get this man out of my head. So there we go, gym again.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, through all this dedication, everything that you've put yourself into, how hard was it to stay off of these Mas Chiles? Because these things are delicious. And
It's kind of a juicy contradiction.
Oh man,
It is hard.
yeah. I mean, do you find yourself just like snacking away at these? Because I know I would.
I don't, just when I make them, so I make sure I put the right amount of like the chile and like the chamoy and stuff.
Get another one, guys.
But I don't fully eat them.
It's what it's everything in moderation, man.
Yeah.
Even if you're in
So good.
or you're trying to lose some weight or you're really focused on the gym, like if you're disciplined and you eat right for 5-6 days out of the week, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself one day out of the week too, or having a little bit of candy here and there. It's just everything in moderation. I feel like your body needs sugar. Your body, you know what I'm saying?
I go to the gym. I go to this gym called Brainiac, and the owner there, he's like, bring them, set them up at the table,
That's smart.
for the people that are,
Yeah.
You guys
they're-
just worked your tail off. Here's some peach rings and some
Right.
gushers.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's awesome. It's a delicacy. It tastes great. Yeah.
I tell you too, like I was reading in a book. It was talking about like it brought up like this kind of whole like theory or thought process that like if you take a magic wand and just poof make someone rich, like
Oh my God.
9 times out of 10 they'll be broke within a year. If you take a magic wand and just poof make someone super fit, but they were super overweight and had bad habits before, 9 times out of 10 they'll gain that weight back in a year. And they talk about it's because you don't form the habits or the discipline. You didn't do what it takes to go through work to get there and get your mind to be in that level of success, whether it's monetarily or even physically. And so like it's so dead on as we have this conversation, even with the doctor telling you like, hey, go lose 40 pounds. Like that's real as fuck. He could have been like, hey, yeah, bring your ass over here. Let me get your money, girl.
Well,
Instead,
but also it's really encouraged to kind of shed off mental fat too.
Damn,
You know
I
what
like
I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I know there's certain habits that people, like I told you about the pizza and the 2-liter. Those aren't just stories. You know what I'm saying? Everybody enjoys those sometimes, but if you're on an actual journey, it's like, okay, what's your goal in mind?
Right.
And the doctors, as much as people have that stigma that they're out here just to get you, they're also, I'm sure, aware of that stigma on them, and they're like, hey, no, we're gonna hold off on just being like, hey, yeah, for whatever. Like they're putting pressure on their clients to do better, and then they're like, yeah, we'll work together to
So
make
one
this
thing
happen.
I say, you have to be mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Mentally prepared
sure.
because until now, I recently stopped and I even got a tattoo tatted up that says enough, because I recently came back from Colombia like not so long ago, like last month, and I went for another consultation. And I'm like, you know what? Like I lost so much weight. So like when you're big, you lose so much weight that you have that extra skin. And you just want to be better and better, and like you want to that perfect look, and you're just looking at your body, your insecurities,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't want this, like I want perfect. So I went to the doctor. He's like, you know what, you need a
But perfect's not obtainable. We know
Yeah.
that. It's not.
You look good,
but
girl.
but
You
it's-
look good.
Yeah, but it's the path of excellence that we try to strive for that really defines us. Because as much as we want to be perfect, the path to being perfect is probably a lot more than other people's path to doing well. So it's like even in the path of perfection, still that story on the path is what really matters.
I think too, it's very important. This point you brought up too. It's almost like it can be addicting.
It is,
It
and
can
it
be
gets
addicting.
mentally
Yeah.
like it's like a sickness in your head, and I kind of deal with that like a lot. Until now, I'm like, like cool about it. But
That's what the enough is about.
Yeah, enough.
It says
I'm
enough.
like,
Like
enough.
I'm good.
Enough.
Damn, that's dope.
So, and I got it over there recently. So I'm like, you know what? Something that has a meaning. Recently, you know, I came from over there, but recently I was mentally like sick from like surgeries, and I wanted more and more. And it's just like, you know, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, you know, I don't like this. I don't like this. Like, you know, I'm doing squats and I'm doing everything, but, you know, I want a BBL. I want, you know, like implants.
This and that, right?
This and that. And I went to the doctor. I'm like, you know what? Like, what do you think about this surgery? He's like, no. Are you crazy? Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're not all born to be the same, you know, the genetics and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to understand that I came from being a big girl and losing a lot of weight and
Yeah.
surgery, you know, helping and everything. And
I don't think it's anything that should be like looked upon as less
Yeah, right.
for having. You
Right.
know what I mean? Hell, nobody gets through this life without assistance, without a little bit of help. Nobody really does it. And so, I mean, it's like if you're struggling with something or anything, it's like go speak to the doctor like you're talking about. It's okay to talk about help. People with mental health issues, it's okay to go talk about help.
Yep.
People that really have a struggle with food, or not just food, but just like, I talked to a doctor one time and I was like, they're attacking us. Like the major corporations with the food that we eat, the supplements that we use, the shampoos, even the toothpaste, it's all designed to attack us. And he was like, "You're right. It is. It is." So I mean, you know, it's good that you
I
have
think
that.
too, like it's kind of like almost like a taboo subject. Like people treat it like it's such a big deal. Like there's like a big portion of people that are like, oh, surgery's bad. Why would we get surgery? Oh, it's fake. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I was like, I had braces. Like I had braces to fix my teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like I fixed my body. Like I can't judge any person, woman or man. I can't judge a woman for doing something that she's insecure about, especially if she's gonna be responsible enough to maintain and follow up on it. Like,
especially one of the things that the guys, you know, you're with the guy and you're like, oh, babe, I want to get surgery. No, I love you the way you are. But then you turn around and they're looking at some other girl. I'm like, oh, no, I can't.
Hey, you can't be mad at men for doing that, all right? Hey, you're over here going like, I want the perfect body, and then your guy's like, that's a good looking body. Hey, what you looking at? No, I'm not here. Yeah.
no, but he's telling her not to.
It's man nature. Maybe he's just looking at her as she's walking away to be like, thank God I don't have her.
Oh my God.
You know, and I'm with this.
Hey, that's the bro. You know what I'm saying? You always got the bros back.
No, that's why I always tell girls don't fall asleep. Come on, do something for yourself. Love yourself. You know,
straight
even though if
up.
the man says don't do it, do it. Do it.
Well, in moderation.
Yeah,
But then it's like, don't do it for them, do it for yourself. Because that was one of my major problems and why
Yes.
I was, you know, pretty much like, you know, a little bit fucked up in my head, because I'm like, you know, this guy is looking at social media, you know, the models and shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like comparing myself like, damn, I don't look like that. Damn, you know, so it gets to your head.
It does.
And at the end, I learned, don't do it for him, do it for you.
Right.
So yeah,
Yep.
so everything you do, you have to do for yourself, because you love yourself, because you want to be
And also,
better for you.
Oh, that's what I was just about to bring up. It makes you a better you.
Yeah.
So even like in the, for instance of, you say you have, you know, your children, you being a better you gives them a better example.
Exactly.
And because
Damn.
they're watching everything
Yep.
that you're doing,
Yep.
you know, you're just transforming, and they're like, what's happening to mom? What's happening to
Yep.
mom? And they'll start asking questions. I'm sure you talk about it with them, you know. So I mean, it shows them that, hey, y'all can do it too if you put your mind to it.
Yep.
And
And it's not about, you know, comparing to others and wanting to be better than another person, you know, because girls, they're like, oh, you know, like she got this, I want this, and I want to be better.
It's about being a better
that.
you.
It's about being a better you. And when
Yeah.
people come to me, and I appreciate, you know, the girls that come to me, even guys, you know, they're like, damn, what did you do? What doctor? You know, I'm like, here's the info.
Yep.
Here's the people that took care of me.
Yep, you
Here's
should have.
everything.
I've seen it on IG. I even told you this before. Like, I respect that to the fullest. And it's even like sometimes, like, I bet even like people are coming at you you like almost like they're even trying to talk shit. Like, oh, what surgery did you get? And it's like you handle that with confidence. Like, yo, I got this, this, and this, and I hit the gym. I be in the gym every day. What the fuck about it?
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I had this and this and this, and they're like, oh, really? I want to get that done too. And I'm like, okay, so here's the doctor. Here's this. You know, what can I help you with? You know, and then people are like, oh, I never thought you were like this. I thought you were like, you know, a stuck-up bitch. And damn, you know, like, thank you for the info. I'm like, no problem. You know, like anytime.
They're coming up asking for help. They're not coming up at, well, you know, and at that point, it's kind of like, well, what do you expect? If they're like, hey, what'd you do? Hey, get out of here, clown. You know, it's not. It doesn't work like that. You know.
You know, you're real as hell. A lot of other people don't have the same mentality as you.
Yeah,
You got
I do
a really
it.
good
You know,
mentality.
with the heart, and you know, like I like helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's important too. I mean, even with us in our show, like anything you do, if you can turn that in a way to help people, like that's where you can really see not only like success and benefits, but also gives you that like, yo, like you're a real ass person. It gives that warm fuzzy feeling.
That
like,
sense
damn.
of accomplishment.
Yeah, straight
You
up.
know? Like, I mean, even after you get out of the gym or something like that, you're just like, man, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I got it out the way today.
Yeah,
I'm
I
good.
have people that at the gym. Oh my God, I wish I was like that. How many squats do I have to do? Or like, how many abs? I'm like, girl, I did not build this by the gym. You know, it took me time, mentally being consistent at the gym, and you know, preparing. So this is not just the gym. I'm honest. You know, there's people. Oh, you know, like I got asked from the gym. I got the ass. No, you know, like I let them know. No, like I got surgery, but I'm maintaining it at the gym as well.
How often you go to the gym?
I go like 5-6 times out of the week.
That's what's up. That's real.
And when I don't go,
What does your workout routine look like, huh?
Huh?
What does your workout routine look like, huh? What do you do on leg day, huh?
on leg day?
Squats, booty work.
Yep.
Yeah, no, consistency, like especially in the gym. When you were saying when you don't go to the gym, what now?
I get stressed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like I have to.
It's a mental workout too. Like I get like super pent up energy when I don't go to the gym. Like I'll get frustrated easier. I'll get a little more aggressive. But like when I go to the gym, it's like I tell people this: the gym is my peaceful place.
Right.
And
Because
like,
you forget about everything. You're focused on you and.
Yep.
It's your place to let the animal out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm a little goofy when I do it, but
You are a little goofy in general,
I know,
though,
but
bro.
I'm not stupid.
No, you're not. You're smart. You're a genius, dude.
No. But I usually let my hair all out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll push it back. It looks
He
goofy.
tucks his tank top into
Tucks
his
my shirt
shorts.
in. You know what I'm saying? I have high socks. I look like I used to coach football. All right, for little 11 and 12-year-olds. So it's like I tuck my shirt in like
used to coach
coach.
football?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, very much so. 2 1-9 seasons. We didn't win, but I love you guys, Pearland Patriots. But yeah, no. It's just your place to let the animal out, and even if it's ridiculous, let it fly.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because my beast is about to see your beast. And you're not more crazy than me. But yeah, so what sort of like, I mean, just in like even with the gym, like, I mean, what ways you were able to overcome, you know, even the fight? Like, I mean, I know I talked with Derek about this. I'm like, man, half the struggle is just being like, all right, it's gym time, we're going, and that drive over there.
Right, getting to the gym is the hardest part.
Right.
Once I'm there, I'm fucking lifting.
Right.
Do you see that kind of same problem or
Well,
what?
for me, it's pre-workout.
Yeah, me too.
If I don't
me
have
too.
pre-workout, I can't. It's like I don't want to go to the gym, and then I grab the pre-workout, I take Celsius, and I'm like, okay.
Get the tingles and
Are you
Yeah.
one of those girls
Yeah.
that just shoot the
Oh, no,
scoop?
no,
I was
that's
about to say,
bad.
that's just weird.
No.
You need to
That's
drink it with
savage.
water, hydrate.
You know,
like,
you put the water in your mouth first. You use your mouth as almost like a semi cup, and then you pour a scoop in there.
No.
You shake your
That's
head
not
up,
it.
and then you down it.
No.
No?
You mix it
No?
with a full cup of water, and you drink it, and you hydrate.
Dr. Derek over here.
I tell you though too, like what I do, like, cause I'm a big fan of pre-workout. Like that shit gets me going. But what I try to do is like I'll go like a month with pre-workout, and then I'll try and go like a week without it, and still hit the gym, and then get back to it, cause that shit's like crack. Like that shit gets you pumped.
Yeah.
But I think you should try that, just cause that way your body lets go of the tolerance to it, and you start back up. Give it like a week or so off, and then get back on it, because you build tolerance up to it, and it doesn't have as much effectiveness.
So back to Mas Chile. What are some of the plans for the future for you? I mean, do you have any sort of like extravagant ideas? What you got going on? Tell us about it.
I actually just do it now with like people hitting me up on IG or like my phone number, and they're like, hey, I want an order of this and this and this, and like I take it to them, so it's not. I have a friend over here in the back where she went. She's like, we should start, make it go bigger, because she likes to hustle too, and like she's like, I'll help you out. So it's like I have people that are there to support me. I have people that do the labels for me without even charging me, and they're like, I'm there for you, and I'm there for you. So like
Beautiful.
I have them there, and I'm just like,
okay, yeah, that leads me to another one of my questions. What kind of team do you have around you that helps you do this?
I know, it's just myself.
Yeah.
But pretty much right now it's
you were
myself.
telling about the people that help with the labels.
Yeah, an Instagrammer. He
Okay.
does this recently. I met him, and he does that. Before it was another friend of mine, but I have people that support me.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool. It's always important to have a good support, like group of friends,
Right.
like that have your
That
back
and
and
then
shit.
people that support me in events, like, hey, come down to my event. Like you're more than welcome. So,
Cool.
So is that like where most all your leads come from? Is social media, and then they hit you up for events and stuff too? That's dope. I think too, like what we actually got some stuff. I want to hop back. We'll talk more about Chile too. I want everyone to see this transformation. Is that cool? We're gonna pull
we
it
do
up.
that? Can we do that?
Joe? We're gonna pull up. Look, check this
Wow.
out. Wow. So this is you on the left. What years was this?
That was in 2016, almost 2017.
2016, 2017, and you had just had your baby and
Because
stuff.
my daughter was born 2016 May, so she was about 6 months right there.
Yeah.
And now that middle photo, is that a
Sheesh.
is that what's the timeline on that? If that one was 2016, when was this?
That was like 2 weeks ago.
There it is.
Ooh.
There
And
it
then
is.
there's her in the gym, flat tummy and all. Let me ask you this: your mental headspace. What's the difference in like your confidence as well as like your sense of mind and like
Oh my
just
God,
your
everything. Just
Really?
everything.
Talk about some of the sacrifices you had to make.
So the clothes. I was a size 16. I was a size 16 going on
Total new
18.
wardrobe.
And it's just like, damn, the clothes doesn't fit me. I had to, like wear fajas under, so my like rolls wouldn't show. And it's just like insecurities. But I was still happy, I would say, but
Yeah.
happy with food. Like food would make me happy. And like,
damn.
yeah. And I gained like 80 pounds with my child. And then after that, that's when I realized like, holy, like,
Yeah.
how did I let go of myself like that?
Yep.
And that's when I started, social media and like looking at, other people like how, the body's like, I wish I could look like that. So yeah, I came down to like, even after my surgery, when I had my tummy tuck at the airport, people like, it's like a whole new you.
Wow.
It's a whole new
Yeah.
you, and
People
like,
are looking at you
like
different
attention
already.
and like treating you different, and it's like, like you didn't treat me like this 3 years ago. So,
Wow.
Well, and also
So-
I feel like some women do that. Like, I mean, with surgeries on the top or the bottom, I mean, a lot of women do it because they had a body that they used to love as a youngster, and they just want those things back. Like maybe the breast may have declined or, started to like go, just do their own feminine things.
well, I was born with, my parents, they're Latinos. So it's like tacos, anything,
Yeah.
Like that food stamps,
it's
no
hard,
limit.
It's hard just being here on the southeast side
No
of Texas
limit.
with the tacos
Like,
too.
oh my
Yeah.
God. So it's like eating. I think, as far as I can remember, I was skinny like, I think at the age of 6, and then I started gaining weight at the age of 12. So I was pretty much, that big girl at high school, but I was like, big girl, but I was like that fun girl, that loud girl in the hallways, and like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like I was popular, but
Well, technically, if anything, being big could be helpful because you have to develop good personality. You have to have, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
But then also, I mean, then it's so hard to try to grasp onto that. Like we were talking about that perfect image because I remember even as a youngster playing football and everything down to like 9% body fat, the people would still be like, oh, they would just talk trash about my little tummy, and I'm like, I'm bigger and stronger than all y'all. And I try and talk down on my stomach. You know what I mean? You're like, whatever. Y'all are small. How about that?
It's
You know what
almost
I mean?
it's almost like a double-edged sword or like a two-sided coin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Social media does create this like false sense of reality where everyone wants to be perfect and yada yada yada, and you know that is a negative thing. It's rough on people to constantly be looking at what social media thinks is perfection,
and also maintaining that.
Yeah, right. But you know, like I said, it's a two-sided coin. It's a double-edged sword because it can also inspire people to, like, you look at you were saying you're going through like, damn, I want to look at that, damn, I want to look at, now look at you, girl, now look at you. Stand up for the camera.
Oh my
stand
God,
up
no.
stand up guys,
This is gonna pull
she
off.
is super fit. Do a twirl.
Tangled.
Oh, it's
Like,
okay.
this is tangled.
She got the headphones on.
Yeah, I do.
Do
I
a
can't-
twirl.
I can't
Give me your
turn
hand. Do a twirl.
around. I can't.
Okay, now you got to twirl back.
Lord Jesus.
My guys, like,
I'm over
she,
here acting nervous.
y'all, we just pulled up all her old photos, like full transformation, yo. And it's important to keep in mind, like, you get surgeries, it's not forever. Like, you have to maintain it. How is it? Is it? I mean, is it hard to stay in the gym that much, like, or it's no problem for you?
I mean, not unless you go for like 2.5 hours and you take little breaks, your selfies, like your little videos working out.
Which you do a lot. You do
Which
a
I do.
lot.
Well, and also I was going to mention on that, I mean, think about all the other women that you may inspire to do something else. Or even like you
Yes.
said, what about the men? You know, like you were telling me you said something about some guy was asking you about it and he was like, whoa, blown away. So, I mean, as much as it can be somewhat vain, it can also be used for a good outlet to help others.
Exactly.
You know? So, I mean, don't stop on the path.
Right.
Because it doesn't ever stop. And
I mean,
Yeah.
even for me, bro, like, I had been I've always been in and out in the gym, and I kind of have a weird relationship with the gym. Like, I know I need it and I love it, but sometimes I just slack off. And so, like, for the last year, I was in it solid 5-6 days a week. Every weekday I wake up, go to the gym before work. And then I got super busy in November, December. I had a lot going on. And so I kind of was like, I had to take it easy at the gym just because I didn't have time. And then January rolls around, and I kind of I started to get the time back and everything, and I kind of just started hit or miss, go to the gym here and there. And then February comes along, and like the first half of February, I wasn't even really in it again. Then boom, all of a sudden, 3 months I'm out the gym. It's like I'm scrolling through social media, and I'm like, I see, not to be weird or anything, you just see stuff online. There's like a dude that I don't think is to where I am in a mental or disciplined like state of mind. And I look at him and I'm like, that motherfucker's way more ripped than me. I was like, dog, why am I letting...
You can't compare
but
yourself.
I did. I found myself comparing myself to him.
Oh
And then
my
I was like,
God.
you know what? Fuck this. I need to get back in the gym. Not even for him, because right
but maybe
now...
it's like a motivation.
It was motivation. That's what I'm saying. It motivated me. I was like, fuck, let me get this back in the gym. Because no matter what people say, your weight, your fitness, your body is your temple, and it is a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? And if you are not in good shape, it's because you're not taking the steps to be in good shape.
well, also like we talked about earlier though, but there's a lot of things that are attacking us that we use on a day to day.
For sure.
That the
So you're
average
gonna let
person,
those things win?
Well,
Is what I would ask someone?
but that the average person isn't informed about.
True.
So I mean, that's what comes into the research. But that was really transitions into my next thing. What sort of golden nuggets would you kind of pass along, maybe to somebody who was maybe struggling with, if they came to you and asked you, hey, give me some help. What'd you do? What are some things you would say?
When I tell people, especially at the gym, people are like, can I get a workout with you? Let's go to the gym. But you're your own motivation. So if you're not going to do it yourself, nobody, like I could tell somebody, hey, let's go to the gym, but it's not up to you if you're like, oh, yeah, maybe, they're asking me for help and I'm like, girl, let's go. Oh, yeah, maybe
But they
tomorrow.
don't have it themselves.
They don't have that motivation.
Right.
So like
Damn.
I tell them, okay, whenever you're ready, you let me know because it starts in you.
Right.
You look at yourself that's how I started. I started looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, man, I don't want to go. And then like I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, bitch, you better get the fuck up. Go to the gym.
Damn.
You want to look like this, then go. And like like even driving, I'm like, oh, let me go back. I'm like, no, bitch, come on.
Hey, that's real.
Those are what you have to fight.
Right.
You have to fight yourself.
You know how many times I've looked in the mirror and like been like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'll go look in the mirror and be like, don't be a bitch, Derek. Like, let's go to the fucking gym.
Oh my God, yes.
That's like when
and
you
then
said
I
that,
have
I
my
was
friends
like,
too,
damn.
and then I'm like, are you going to? Nah, girl, you better get up right now. We're not hanging up the phone. You better come like right now.
And that's another good thing about like if you're trying to get into the gym or get into being fitness or being active anyway. It's not just the gym, guys. You could do anything. Going running outside, go, play basketball, just being active. The other thing is having accountability partners. Having it's a good thing, but I get it starts with you too, but it's also me and Evan have been in the gym constantly together back when we used to live near each other and stuff, and now we're starting to get back into it more so now. And then I got another homie, Teo, that every morning now 5:30 in the morning, one of us will call each other, and like we'll call each other and be like, wake the fuck up, bro. And like if most of the time if I don't call him, he calls me. If he doesn't call me, I call him. And so I mean, like I said, I took a couple months off. I'm about
you have those good friends.
Yeah.
So what's something you would tell yourself maybe about 10 years ago in the past from where you are now? What sort of advices would you
fitness,
give to
that.
yourself?
First of all, don't get married young.
Hey, that's real though. Damn.
I got married at 18. I cannot believe that.
Wow.
My mom's like, you do whatever the fuck you want when you're out of this house. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
So she said I did it.
I'm like, from 10 years back, I would say, damn, it goes back into my childhood. So I never had those kind of people that motivate me. Like I never saw myself being in the gym eating healthy. My parents, they're
Striving
Latinos, so they're thinking of like all they think about is tacos. Hey, you want some more? You want a second place? So they never taught me that.
You're like, Mom, I'm full, and they're like, shut up. Here's another.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. So it's basically I wish I had that kind of motivation back then 10 years ago, but we can't take time back, so it's like you got to start from where you're at, and then
if anything, I mean, maybe you can take a look at it like this, not having that and then discovering what its abilities were to help you be better as a person. It was almost a driving force for you to discover, because without a struggle from the young age, you know what I mean, you don't know what you want. I mean, if everything's kind of like, hey, here you are, you're like, well, what do I want? It's like, I want success. So what are you willing to do it?
Yeah.
And
I think too, it's important. Like she said, it's like even something you would tell yourself back then. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's what you tell your friends now. Hey, find it in you first.
Right.
Find it in you first, and then
Find
you know what I'm
yourself.
saying. You find yourself, find it in you, and then we can get it together. You know what I'm saying?
And that's when you start loving yourself.
Yeah, that's real as fuck. It really is.
Because if you don't love yourself, it's like, like you want something, but then it's like what's backing you off, like what's holding you back.
Yeah.
What's holding you back. So yeah, there's a lot. There's time. I think you find time, even if you have to wake up at 6 a.m. before work. There's time for everything.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Damn, that's dope. Man, I want to give you credit, girl, because, you know what I'm saying, you got your hustle, you're a single mom,
I'm dipping into the peach rings again.
Yeah, I'm going to get some of the gushers. So
Yeah.
how do they, how can they find you for all this stuff? It's Mas Chile.
They can find me on Instagram, so Mas Chile, Mas_Chile_. Even if they put Mas Chile, it should pop up, or like my numbers on there as well.
So good.
The gushers, bro, they're the best. For sure. You were right. Her homegirl was right.
Yeah, that's my top seller.
Man, but they're dangerous. Because if I had these at the house,
Dangerous.
I would eat
yeah,
this
that's a lot of
whole
sugar.
thing.
Oh, this is too good.
What's your just so people can follow your healthy lifestyle kind of journey too? What's your IG?
Well, my IG is, I think it's Carballo _Denise or Denise Carballo. You could just, put my full name there. And I do a lot of like videos and stuff. So like I'm all about recording and pictures and talking and motivate others. People DM me and I'm like, hey, unless it's like guys, they
Being
they try
weird. Yeah.
to say,
For sure. Hey, I appreciate also, you know what I'm saying, you didn't treat it at all, us all like that. Like, I was trying to keep it pro. Right when I hit you up, I was like, because to be honest, like, that's what kind of I wanted to dive into too. Like I saw you did Mas Chile and everything, and I was like, that's dope. We can shout out her business and everything. But I thought it was gonna be super cool to have someone come talk about like their kind of how. What did you say? I said furnace journey, but what did you say? You called it a weight loss journey. Okay, your weight loss journey.
Well, and also it's glad that you're here because you can kind of help pull the veil off for some of the other people that may be, questioning whether they should do it or whether it's the right thing for them. And it's, it starts with you. It's like, well, what do you want to do?
For sure. And it's like it's like, especially like surgery and stuff, it's got a very negative stigma. And that's why I was like, the second I had seen you start posting, like you were openly talking about it and stuff, I was like, damn, that woman, that's a smart lady right there. That's a smart woman. Like,
when you hit
she's
me up
real as
on,
fuck.
I think Messenger, I'm like, where did he came from? And then like, cause I don't really be on Messenger, and I'm like, huh, and I started reading. I'm like, okay, so I was at Columbia. I was struggling with what the doctor said. Enough. You need to stop with all these surgeries. And I'm like, that'll be something, good to talk about.
Exactly. And it is like, this was fire, yo, because I bet a lot of people out there, the candy fire is fuck, bro.
Yeah.
We're keeping all this, by the way.
Yeah, just a heads up.
We're keeping this. Okay. But I mean, for
real. I got a few drinks, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'll put it in some pre-workout too, and like do like lean. But nah, like. I saw it and I was like, and I saw how your openness and there's like, I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there that like they've thought about having some work done, or they've thought about getting into the gym, and like the ability to kind of combine those and kind of change your lifestyle. It's dope as hell. My hat's off to you, girl. It's cool.
Yeah, seriously. No, thanks for coming on the show and talking about all this. I mean,
well, thank you guys for having me here.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
I was like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, should I go? Should I know. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, see, hey, now that it's coming to a conclusion, like I said, it just kind of happens like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's in and it's out.
Yeah, it was quick, right? Well, this wasn't too hard, was it? No. So she was telling us before we even or she was telling me the other day when we were on the show and stuff. Or I mean, when we were talking about the show and stuff, she was like, I even talked to your trainer, right?
Yeah.
She was like, I talked to my trainer, and I was like, they were talking to me about being on a podcast, and I don't really know if I want to do it. Tell us about it.
Shout outs to Eric.
Yeah.
Remember Eric?
Yeah.
So I was over there at Brainiac. So I go to LA, but I go to Brainiac. So there's this gym on Loera, which is dope, good vibes and everything. And I was working out, and he was like, I'm gonna pick on you. I'm like, it's hard to pick on me. He's like a new trainer there, a general manager. And then I started telling him my story because he was like, so what do you want to work on? And then I just vented, and I'm like, what, my extra skin, I just wish, I could tone up some more. And he was giving me some tips, and then I was telling him, like, about my, like, how I am today, like.
Yeah, how you got there.
How I got, here. Like from 3 years back.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then I started talking about the show. I'm like, man, there's a show that they invited me to go, and I don't know if I should. He's like, yes, you should. Like,
why not?
to me, when I told him that story, it's like, it was shocking for him. So like, wow, like, like he never thought that I was that person 3 years ago, because when I pull out those pictures, they're like, that was you.
Well, it just goes to show what hard work does. It can change you. It really can.
And you did great. You freaking crushed it, girl. Like, this was a great episode.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So we appreciate it. Hey, bro.
Hell yeah.
Good job. Good work today.
Good job. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for these. Again, these are killer. I've been snacking on them all episode. If y'all haven't heard me.
Another episode of the books, baby.
Another episode. See y'all next week.
HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world.
Come on.
Let's go.